to Tamas from University of Westminster. So are you going to present by yourself, am I right?
Yeah, I think it is because it's easiest because I'm going to show the science center.
Just tell me something about you. So Tamas is a professor in distributed computing and director of Center for Parallel Computing of the University of Westminster. His research interests include distributed and parallel computing, cloud, cluster, and grid computing. He has been involved in several. No, you must connect to the virtual room.
Okay.
And present from the virtual room. Yes, he has been involved in several European projects, leading and coordinating application support activity. Currently, is coordinating the H2020 Asclepios project, and also he is also member of the executive board of the Cloud Factoring project that aims to optimize production processes and producibility using cloud APC-based modeling and simulation.
Thank you very much, Luca. So it is working, yes, I assume. Good. Okay, so so very much welcome on this short presentations. I will only be like 20 minutes and try to give you an overview of the PITHIA Science Center. Why it is important? Because from tomorrow, my understanding is that all of you, at least all of the students, are going to use this particular tool. So you will be the kind of guinea pigs to try it in real public. And this is a huge responsibility, obviously. If any problem, I will be around all the time. And my colleagues are kind of standby and touching the keyboard as soon as something goes wrong. Hopefully nothing is going to go wrong. This system is up and running for more than a year now, but we have never used it in this kind of bigger setting when 20 people at the same time tries to bombard it and tries to put it down. So so before my presentation, just a very quick, mainly my presentation will be about the demonstration of the Science Center. I thought it is more interesting if I show it how it works. If I just talk about it, that's probably, you won't believe me if I just start talking about this. So what is the Science Center and what do we use it for? So as Anna already, I think, explained, this is a central point of entry where everything which we produce in PITHIA can be accessed. And I think this is the most important issue, is that if anybody needs access to any data collection, any model, anything you want to know about PITHIA, then you can go to the Science Center, and then with one single point, you can get access to everything. Now, everything in PITHIA means what we call data collections. There will be some other things I'm going to explain what else, but mainly data collections. And data collections are typically two types. One is a data set, which is typically a collected set of raw data or processed data, but definitely some kind of data, pure data. And the second one is a model, which could be either an output of a model or could be the model as you execute it, and then do something with that model. And the third one, which I said that we have something else as well, and this is relatively new, we are introducing catalogs. And catalog is typically a kind of smaller set of data which is related to a certain event. So I'm going to show you in the Science Center that, for example, a catalog could be volcano eruptions, and that is the whole catalog. And inside the catalog, you can have a certain event, for example, the Honga Tonga explosion last year. And then within that one, you could have multiple data subsets. So people collected data about the Honga Tonga eruption, and then they put it into the Science Center. Okay, so this is what we call a catalog. What is nice in catalogs, that if you want, so for example, if you are writing a paper about a catalog, then you can, in the Science Center, you can assign a DOI automatically to your data catalog subset. So if you would like to then reference it from the publication, then you say, yeah, okay, let's go to the Science Center. The Science Center generates me a DOI, and I put that into the publication. Obviously, you can generate DOIs in many different ways as well, so that's not forbidden. This is just an option which the eScience Center provides. Now, what is very important as well, and this is the next big bullet, is that we provide standardized metadata and ontology-based search. So this means that we are based on an ISO standard, and based on that one, we describe, which is related to observations and measures. And based on that one, we are describing the data collections and the data sets, models, and data sets and models. And why it is good? Because we are obviously in a standard format. So if somebody comes with the same standard description, that's relatively easy to register the thing in the eScience Center. And also we provide an ontology supporting this. And the ontology is nothing else but a set of keywords. So this means that the ontology says that into the metadata which you register, what words you can write. So for example, you can write as feature of interest. I don't know, Ivan will help me out if I'm wrong. So something can be like sun, earth, meteor, feature of interest. Fantastic. I made it right. So obviously I'm not, I'm a computer scientist. Yeah. So you forgive me anytime I make a mistake in these kind of things, because I have no idea what we are talking about. This is again a very important feature. Now, the eScience Center provides you seamless interaction with all registered resources. So anywhere in the world, the observational facilities are registering data sets or models. You can get access to them from the eScience Center from a single interface, obviously, if they register it in the eScience Center. The usage is free, completely free, so there is no restriction. We don't ask any question. You just come and use it. You just go to this link. And that is, I think we made the decision this morning that we make a big announcement today, and you are the first one to witness it, is that the eScience Center is now publicly available and will be advertised on every single forum. It was publicly available, we just never told anybody that this is available. But now it is announced in this forum and will be put on the website and any other forums that anybody can come and access the eScience Center. And obviously, as I already told you, this will be used by you in the training course. So you will be these guinea pigs who are going to try it. Now, this is the scary thing. You are not going to see this actually at any point, but this is the scary thing for us, at least, because this is the way how we need to register data collections in the eScience Center. This is the metadata structure, in other words, okay, with very science or very computer sciencey words. But practically what we do is that we register a data collection, which is just a data collection described by some kind of XML-based standardized metadata. But in order to describe the data collection, you need to tell which organization, who is that data collection, who is the individual who is responsible for it, which project it was created, what is the platform which it uses for the observations, what operations it uses to run the model, and so on. So this is the reason why it is so complicated, because we would like to describe it in full detail and would like to tell what exactly it is. Now, you will never see this, okay? So that's the good news, is that you're never, ever going to see this. Only administrators, us, who with sweat and tears are registering or your data collections in the eScience Center, and I think colleagues have kind of bad stories how complicated it is, and then Ivan always loves that this is very simple and easy. We just don't understand how to do this. Yes? Okay, exactly. So this is then, besides that, is the actual structure of this metadata. I believe I can see this, but I believe the blue ones are the actual XML metadata, and the green ones are also XML files which are describing the ontology. So these are the keywords which you can use in the actual metadata structure. So the registration need to be completed by considering the dependencies, obviously. So you have to start with registering your organization, then your individuals, then your project, and then finally you can register a data collection when everything is on place. And as I said, the acceptable values in the XML files are defined by the ontology. So the ontology is not a mystical thing, it's just a set of keywords which tells what you can write into those XMLs. Okay, so as I said, this looks very complicated. For us, it is complicated because we need to register it. For you, hopefully it will be very simple because you just use these ontology terms and the metadata to find whatever data collection you would like to find. Okay, so this is just ticking boxes and I will show you in the demo. So I'm not wasting more time. I think I still have about 15 minutes or so. So in 15 minutes, I would like to show you the eScience Center, but obviously you will see the eScience Center much more during the week. So this is just a very, very short introduction to that. So if I go here, finding the eScience Center is very simple. You just say esc.pythia.eu. Obviously my computer is now a little bit I've been there a few times. So this is how the Science Center looks like when you are going to see it, okay? So we have a few functionalities, like you can search for data collections, you can browse data collections, you can browse catalogs, you can browse metadata, and you can see the ontology. I think these are now familiar to you because I already mentioned these in the presentation. So these are the things that you can do with the Science Center. There may be future functionalities, but at the moment, this is what you see. Now, obviously, you can see this because people here in the past 1.5 years, 2 years now, yes, registered a lot of things in the Science Center. Otherwise, you wouldn't see anything, so it would be completely empty. So if I go for the first kind of, okay, no, go to the second one, yeah, because that may be kind of more trivial. So these are the data collections which are currently registered in the Science Center. This is what you are going to use, one of them at least, in your group exercises, in your group project, and you are going to utilize data out of these. And the colleagues who are presenting after me, they are going to explain you which data collection are the ones which are assigned in the exercises. Now, we don't have that many data collections at the moment. When I say not that many, we have like 40-something or 30-something, I don't know, yeah? So at the moment, I think this is more or less enough for you. I can go through a list of 30, 40 items, and I can probably find what I'm looking for. So that's okay. Now, what we hope that in a year we will have 100, and in 5 years we may have 500, 1,000 data collections. So that it may be a little bit more difficult to find what you are looking for. At least this is the ambition, I believe, because otherwise there is no point of creating more complicated system like this. Yeah? So these are the data collections, and again, colleagues are going to show some of these and going to explain you what you can find them and how you need to use it for your exercises. But this is very simple, so I just come here, I click on a data collection, and then further information about that data collection is coming up. Yep. So nothing more complicated than this. There are further information about the data collection. Actually, there is a link where you can access the data collection, but I will show it to you later on in this demonstration. Yep. So this is a relatively simple thing. Now, if I go to this one, search data collection, it is very similar to the previous functionality. You can find a data collection, but in a little bit more intelligent way, okay? I mean, a much more intelligent way, I think. So what it is that this now uses the ontology. So here you can see the various keywords of the ontology. This is, for example, feature of interest, which I already mentioned. And we have at the moment in the ontology 1, 2, 3, 4 different features of interest. It doesn't mean that other things cannot be feature of interest. Just in the PITHIA community at the moment, these are the 4 which came up as a possibility. Okay, with very little modification and some wizardry from Ivan, we can register another feature of interest if that comes up. And then obviously, if you click on any of these arrows, then you can see more aspects of this feature of interest. So within Earth, you can have atmosphere, ionosphere, magnetosphere, and surface, which doesn't have any entries at the moment. Okay, and then obviously, if you dig down further, then you see some other aspects. And again, if you tick a box, then your search will be looking for any data collection which has a connection to the mesosphere. I have no idea again what it means or whether they have or not. I probably should have prepared with a meaningful search, but I haven't. So I will just tick a box and hope that something is actually going to come up. And then obviously you can select another aspect as well. And then you can tick the box there, and then all the data collections which are related to either of that or the other one are going to come up. So, and then you just press search, and once you press search, then at the moment there are 3 data collections which are found, and if I click on any of them, you will see exactly the same view what you have seen after the browse. Okay, so this is just a little bit more intelligent way. Again, at the moment, probably it doesn't make any sense, because with 30, 40 data collections, you can very easily find what you are looking for. Hopefully, when we have 1,000, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more tricky to find something without a search functionality. You also have a keyword search. So you don't have to use the ontology. If you think I'm more clever than the ontology, no problem. Put in your keyword, and you can also find what you are looking for. You can search for other aspects as well. So besides the feature of interest, you can search for computation times, and you can search for observed property, and you can search in combination. So this is what you are going to do during the training course, is that you look for a certain observed property and a certain, I don't know, computation type. And then you are going to be returned with results where both are actually true. So this is, yeah, this is the search. Now let's go back. So I can also browse catalogs. This is very simple to browsing data collections, but we don't have that many catalogs registered at the moment. So I think it's very easy to find your catalog because we have exactly one. And this is exactly the same example which I've told you. So volcano eruption, and then within that one, you will have the Honga Tonga, and within that one, you will have one single data collection subset. And this is the one actually which you are going to use. So I think one of the exercises are actually based on this, if I'm correct. And you are actually going to use this particular data collection. In this case, you are not going to use the ontology-based search because, as I said, we have exactly one. So it's not that hard. And I also showed you where to find it, so I think it's very easy. The last one is that you can actually browse the metadata. So not only the data collections itself, but everything which is related to the registration of the data collections. So you see we have 39, I don't remember the number because it's changing dynamically and I don't check it obviously every day. We have 39 data collections, but we have a lot of other information registered in the Science Center about organizations, individuals, operations, instruments, acquisitions, computation capabilities, and so on. And if you would like to browse it, this is not that exciting because, sorry. Yeah, okay, so this is fine. So here you see the organizations, and if you click on any of the organizations, again, you see this kind of more detailed about information about the organization and a short description about the organization. So again, nothing really striking. Now, some part of the eScience Center is actually hidden from you, okay? So why we said it's open, it is open, yes, you can get access to every data, but you can't ruin your life, yeah? And we have the right to protect that. So that part of the Science Center is not open to you, and it will not be open to anybody, only some very small number of people who belong to some PITHIA or PITHIA-related organization. So for that part, I will need to log in. I can show you a sneak peek of that functionality, but I'm not going to let you in. Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's closed door for you. I will explain why. So I think you are going to understand it very quickly. So I need a password, obviously, to enter that. If I wouldn't need a password, then yeah, you could also come in. And what you see behind this, so now you see I have 3 lines, yes? You have this one and this one. And now, after logging in, I'm the privileged one, I have this one as well. Yeah? And this is about metadata registration and management. So this means that here is the place where you can actually upload an XML file, but more dangerously than that, you can also delete any of the XML files. So that means that you can just come here, wipe out the Science Center, and everybody in PITHIA will go into a nervous breakdown next day because we need to republish everything. So obviously this is not allowed, and that is the reason why we don't allow it. Yep. So let's see something more interesting than processes. So let's see, for example, data collections. If I click in here, data collections, that what I can do is that I can view this data collection, but I can view the XML of the data collection. So this is why you have to be sorry for us, because this was created by somebody, okay? Obviously, it is not this complicated as it looks like, because nobody ever, with the exception of Ivan, started to write it from scratch, okay? I'm sorry, Ivan, that I'm always pointing to you, but you are a kind of part of this presentation. I can't forget about you, because you are at least 90% of this work which you have done. Okay, we can discuss it after the presentation. So this one was created from scratch once, and after that one, you only need to modify certain values. Okay, so you don't have to start writing it from scratch. If somebody registers a data collection, then you just need to fill in the values. Now, why I'm going to do these details with you, because I very much hope that some of you will be actually producers of the Science Center at one day. Okay, so you are going to have your own data collection, your own model, and you say, wow, I heard about this PITHIA a few years ago. Why not come here back again and try to register my data collection or my model? Yeah. So this is not that frightening as it actually looks like. So this is a new view. Now you can also upload a new XML file. So this is the upload functionality where you actually upload a new file. So again, here you can upload, if you have access, you can upload anything which doesn't make any sense. And again, that's so you write the XML file and then you just publish the XML file in the eScience Center. And the third one is about updating the so-called interaction method. So how you actually interact with that data collection, and I will show it to you in 1 second. I think I need to speed it up now because I'm slightly running out of time. So yeah, I think more or less this is the functionality. What else you can access here is that you can, so I'm just going back to the button. There is a metadata registration guide. And this is for you to learn how to do this registration process. Okay, so how to prepare the XML files and so on. And here you can find examples. So these are just XML files. You can take the XML file and you just modify the value in that. It is just a text file where you rewrite a word and so on. So this is actually it. And what finally I would like to show you is that if I go to and I don't want to execute it because I think Sean is going to have a presentation about this later on. But if you go to a data collection, which we have already done, no, sorry, we cannot this one. So if I browse the data collection and go to here, like the DTM 2020 model, and again, I'm not going to do this because Sean is going to show this to you or something similar, I believe. But here, you can actually have a link, and with this link, you are either taken to that data collection directly, and then you directly interact with that, or execute it from the eScience Center. So for example, if I click here, then this model is coming up in an executable format from an automatically generated graphical user interface. You can find a short description of this model. And after that one, you can actually execute this. So here the model has some input parameters. It could be much, much more complicated. It could have a file as an input parameter. It could take the input parameter from a location. But this one is very simple input parameters, which you just define, execute it, and after execution, you can actually visualize this. So you can see it in a graph with a plot. You can download the files and so on. And I believe this will be shown to you by Sean. I'm not going to show you, and actually I'm running out of time, so I'm going to finish it here. So thanks very much. And you will see this much more. Obviously, if you have any kind of technical questions about the Science Center, then you have to ask me. If you have scientific questions about the Science Center, don't ask me, so then ask anybody else.
Are there questions for Tamas? They are scaring people with PITHIA.
Yeah, I think so.
Plasma sphere, thermosphere, less scaring than many sites. And
okay.
But they will have questions for sure. I know.
Thanks very much.
Okay.